So Bhavesh
Okay.
told me to make some bars with the words adolescent, anecdote, and podcast. So this is what I wrote. I tell them what I feel and make it feel like an anecdote, an antidote to my own feelings. Never had to take it though. An adolescent growing to a legend. In the essence of my lessons, make these other rappers in the game look like severely old peasants. And the suppression of my voice not happening at podcasts. I don't use my sword, I use my pen for the combat. To see the growth of a rap scene in a country as big as India, which was not even exposed to the kind of culture or the kind of music that hip hop entertains, it's beautiful and it's commendable, the kind of effort that people have put into the growth of this culture. And hip hop has always been at the primal importance. It's always been about the voice of the voiceless, and hip hop in India is doing exactly that. India's biggest Hindi rapper, Divine, he was a very poor person, and look at what he's made of himself. It's good to see that, because that's what hip hop did in America. That's what hip hop did in any other country. It gave the voice to the people who never thought that they could have a voice. It gave money in the hands of people.
That is why hip hop is also my favorite music genre. Like the amount of creativity which you put, the lyrics which you like, the symbolisms, the metaphors, the different way you manipulate words, and this has so many outlets. Like even the freestyles which you wrote, I really loved the Quarantine freestyle.
Thank you so
That was
much.
good. That was so good. Like
Thank you
you
so much.
got references from so many places.
Never had to learn, I was always in my zone shit. My flow be John Jones, lot like a charge. This is what I be John Doe when they wanna know how the hell I'm all these syllables. And I'm stuck in all the dollar bills, all to all the world like a collar to a tailor. Then I blast the bill like the NYC mayor.
People do not understand the second meaning, the third meaning of every single line. Like if we take Eminem, the amount of word
crazy.
Oh my god.
Crazy. I grew up listening to Eminem, Biggie, Tupac Shakur, Nas, Rakim, Tech Nine, and I was the only kid in India at that point of time that was primarily listening to this music. I was in second grade, okay, and I was listening to gangsters killing, and I was like, whoa, okay. So I'll tell you how I got into hip hop. I was like 4 years old when I wrote my first poem, okay, and I have loved poetry. Poetry has been my first love. Actually, the English language as a whole, I love English, and I wrote my first poem at age 4. One day across, I think on 9XM or MTV, Smack That by Eminem and Akon was playing. Smack That all on the floor, and I was like, ooh, damn, that's a good melody. And then I was like, okay. Then I dug more into things. I had a whole Linkin Park phase. And then I accidentally, instead of downloading a Linkin Park song, I downloaded an Eminem song accidentally. And I was like, what is this? I started listening to it because I thought I was going to play some Linkin Park song that had just come out. And I was like, what? And he was just going flippity, flippity, flippity. I was like, whoa, okay. This is a thing? This is music? And to me it was like, isn't he like reciting poetry? Because I used to do a lot of poetry recitations, and I was like, isn't he reciting poetry on a beat? And then I looked him up and I realized this is a whole genre. This is music.
Yes.
Poetry. Rap is basically rhythm and poetry. And I was like, whoa, hold up. So that means I can make music.
Mind blown.
I was so astounded. I was like, this is my thing. I stopped listening to everything else. I stopped listening to Linkin Park, heavy metal, everything that was my life up until that point. I was like, nothing comes close to this, because I was so fascinated by putting words together, by twisting words so that they sound alike, by getting references from everywhere across the world. I mean, it was a genre where you could do anything at all. And the best thing is, it did not matter who you are, it did not matter where you're from. As long as you're a rapper, as long as you're a hip-hop musician, you are a part of the culture, you're a part of that world. It meant so much to me because I was a bullied kid, okay? I grew up with a lot of self-esteem issues, and just to see Eminem, such a big guy, rap about him being bullied, that gave me power, that gave me strength, and that was something I really needed. I really needed it.
Because I was also into poetry, finding rhyming words. The first day I found 2 syllables rhyme, I was so happy. I was like, damn, this opens up a lot of opportunities. I went to rappad.com, the rhyme zone, all those websites. I was like, multi-syllable rhyme. Okay, 2 syllable, 3 syllable,
4 syllable, 5
4
syllable.
I was astounded. And this is also very interesting because I rebelled in class 10 little bit, and we had a competition in our school.
Okay.
English recitation. I went and rapped Hamilton.
Oh my god.
Everyone was looking at me as if I went mental. What is this guy doing? Why is he talking fast? Is he reciting poem? Is he having a seizure?
Insane.
My god.
Insane.
And then a teacher came, my housemaster.
Yeah.
And she says, Bhavesh, next time recite a little slowly. Amazing shit.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Then I tried again in 11th standard. This time everyone understood. Bhavesh matlab rap karega.
Rap karega.
Stage pe.
He will rap.
Yeah. Then I went to one more school and I performed when they asked, does anyone want the stage for 5 minutes? I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Okay, so how was the audience applause?
That was the best because that was the first time the audience was interacting. They were all clapping on the beat and I was walking on the stage and doing all the gang signs.
You were rapping
Very
Hamilton.
cringy.
You were rapping Hamilton only.
Yeah, I changed the flow.
Wow.
But anyways, I remember that you went to a rap gathering in Delhi.
Oh,
you
yeah.
posted stories.
Yeah.
And how was that experience? Like performing freestyles in front of so many people.
When I was there, see, I can freestyle well. But when I was there, I was like freestyling better than I can write. And I don't understand how.
Yes.
I think it was just the environment of like having so many rappers in the first place. And that was like the first time that people came up to me and said, hey, I'm a fan of yours. I was pretty taken aback by that. I was not used to getting fans. And it means a lot to any artist. Even if one person comes
Definitely.
to you. One person comes to you, says, dude, I'm a fan. I do this, I do that. And I'm so inspired by you.
And the best compliment is you're so underrated. I can't wait to see you blow up. I love that compliment.
Definitely.
I love giving it to others. It's like so good. In your bad day, just remember that. And you get inspiration to make content.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. See, everybody who's in the rap game aiming to blow up, we want to be big. We want to be heard worldwide. We want our art to change lives. Any support we get means a lot. It's one step closer to being, if not Eminem,
Extremely. Yes,
maybe something a little less. Whatever it is, I'm not saying Eminem is the benchmark. Even in my career, he's my role model. It's because he's inspired millions of new rappers. He's created rappers. He's changed lives. Forget change. He saved lives. And that's the kind of influence I want to have, because words, especially in rap music, they have a lot of power.
Like Logic 1800, that song was so beautiful.
Beautiful song. The Suicide Hotline.
The amount of life.
Yeah, 50% increase in calls after the song released.
Proper rappers who are role models.
Facts.
Not just people. Like Logic said, I got bitches, I got
red designer clothes. No way you're messing with that. I'll tell you something very personal. When I say that I rap in English or that I have global dreams and I want to be at a global stage, I don't want to be big in India only. That's one of the reasons I don't rap in Hindi. I don't want to be an India-centric figure. I want to be a global figure. And a lot of people, they're like, you should switch to Hindi. There's like easier success there. There's more guaranteed success there. There's this, there's that. It'll be easier for you. I'm like, I don't want the easier path if it's not something I want. And I've been a victim of a lot of, frankly speaking, people have discriminated against me in the Indian hip-hop community. Because I don't rap in Hindi and I don't want to. It's a personal choice of mine. I have different visions for myself, so I don't rap in Hindi. I've been victim of a lot of discrimination. I'll tell you an instance. You remember when that whole Neha Dhupia thing happened? It's her choice.
Who's Neha Dhupia?
It's her choice.
Yes. That Rudy's contestant,
yes.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That when that whole thing happened, there was this Hindi rapper who posted a video. And in that he was calling Neha Dhupia the Hindi word for a prostitute. And I was pretty disturbed by that. So I commented, this is not something right. Don't do this. Please don't call her that. The reply I got, so, just because you speak English does not mean you're above us. For you, calling her a be better, wouldn't it? I was like, no, they're both the same thing. It's not right. Don't associate somebody's name with that. It's not right.
I feel like those words are normalized to a greater extent that people have forgotten.
There are so many Hindi rappers that use the N word. I'm like, that's not a word for you to use. It's not made for you. Look, I get why. Because people are not educated about that word. They think it's a very common word, and they've created variations of it, of course, which are now used in memes and by Bollywood celebrities. Really disgusting to me, but okay.
This is a really interesting topic to speak. The N-word, why it is derogatory, and why people must understand it's not about being cool. Using that N-word does not make you cool, does not make you socially intellectual, does not make you accepted. No. It's not about giving power to a word, it's about what the word meant. You can't remove the meaning from a word so quickly. It is hard because we are not in the same position. If we are offended so highly of the discrimination that we face because we revealed to people that we are Indians, obviously you must understand the same concept, the same analogy works for black people also. When I advise people not to use the N-word in some cases, they're like, bro, chill.
In any case,
it is not a big deal.
I'm like, it is a big deal, dude. I have a lot of African American friends. So naturally, if they're on my profile, and if they see a guy commenting with that word, they'll feel bad. It's not right, man. We have Africans in India too. It's not right to them either. The basic understanding is, I'm not here to debate history. Everybody knows the history of that word. But the thing is, the basic understanding that you can take
everybody
away is that not
so
everybody.
Of the history.
Yeah, but the thing is, the one thing you can tell people is that this is the word that a black man heard before he was cut to death by a white man. That's why we shouldn't use it. That's why it's not a word to use. They turned that word of oppression into a word of unity. Whenever anybody else is speaking it, they know there's a double meaning under it.
And this is true with every single racial slur which we have, not just for black.
Yeah, I mean,
calling Asians the C word. Yeah.
Oh, and even in India, casteist slurs are very prevalent.
It's not about being a snowflake or being offended on their behalf. It's about being morally right in one way. Basic decency, not to call someone that.
If any person, forget an entire community, if any person has a problem, don't use it personally. If you have a friend who gets triggered by the word, for example, she gets triggered by the word home, don't use the word, it's not such a big deal. You can censor yourself for the sake of somebody else's mental health.
So thank you very much for watching, and Ludwig.
Yeah, really fun. Talking about the thing I love the most, rap music, always a privilege. Thank you guys for all the support that I got on the last podcast. I mean, we exchanged a few followers. And if you like rap music, follow my handles. I'm at @Ridzi Music on Instagram, Ridzi Music on YouTube. TikTok is @ Ridzi the Rapper.
Nice.
So yes.
Go check him out. Go attend his concerts on Instagram Live. He comes live he comes like once a day, right? Live?
Yeah.
Go attend his concert.
Once a week nowadays.
Okay. Attend his concerts, then you can blab to people. I attended Ritzy in Instagram. Okay, have fun, people. Good night.
Stay safe.